Nancy, you endured a lot of emotional and physical abuse, mostly when George was drinking and under the influence of drugs. Where was your faith in all of this?
With Jesus. I would have never made it without Jesus, I can tell you that. He kept me going. And I knew that I had to keep going in order to get this man to heaven, because when he wasn't drinking and doing all this stuff, you couldn't have asked for anybody any sweeter and nicer. It was the perfect husband. But once he got that 2 drinks in him, he changed. I mean, you would have thought, how can anybody change from 2 drinks and then just get bad and worse and bad? And then it just got so bad. So yes, without Jesus and me praying as hard as I prayed during all that time, I would have never made it.
Years, decades.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice, like, when he took those 2 drinks, I'm out of here, or?
I couldn't leave.
No, I mean not leave, but just like distance yourself from him.
No, I had to get ready to be able to. With George, you could calm him down talking about his mother. You can calm him down talking about Jesus.
Yeah.
So I knew that Jesus was in there. I just had to bring him out. So yes, and then he was just a totally different person. And there were so many demons in there. And in the book, it's got about how everybody in Nashville knows it, how he would go around and talk like an old man, talk like Donald Duck. And he was good at it too. And so I had to get rid of those 2 people.
You have conversations between the 2. He's doing all the talking, but one sounded like Donald Duck. Who was the old movie star? I can't remember his name.
Walter Brennan.
Walter Brennan. He would sound like Walter Brennan. And then the third party was George Jones. And they're all fighting with each other. And Nancy's in the middle of all that, trying to make sense of it all and keep George alive, driving down the road.
Down the road. And he had an accident.
No, I have to tell you about how I got rid of them.
Oh,
Okay,
first, yeah.
So we were driving to Alabama, and he kept on talking and arguing with those people. So I finally said, just stop the car. He said, what? I said, I'm going to get rid of them. He said, how are you going to do it? I said, I'll show you. So I opened the door. I pulled out the old man. I pulled out the duck. Guess what? The duck went back in. I said, oh, wait a minute. I had to get the duck. I had to get the duck. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's how far gone he was. And I did get rid of him.
Yes,
And so I slammed the door and said, let's go. And he said, oh, thank you so much for getting rid of them. They were killing me.
And he never talked about it again?
Never, ever.
But he did continue drinking, and that's the accident you were referring to, where everybody thought George had quit drinking. Well, Nancy knew that he hadn't. And
He thought if he had little vodka bottles, those little bitty ones, that you couldn't smell it. Well, I knew he was drinking. I could smell vodka. So he would hide them in his boot, in his suit, anywhere he could hide them. So here I'd be in the closet, digging them out, knowing I'm going to get in trouble if he finds it out. So he'd go to his little hide place, and he's like, you been in my closet? No. Well, I got rid of all of them.